What is responsibility? What is responsibility? Now that we know authority, now that we know delegation, what is responsibility? Florence, what is responsibility?
Hey, madam, wacha tu nitaandika kwa KASNEB. Saa hii ni kubaya. Sijui.
Unaniangusha, unaniangusha.
Utaandika vipi? Utaandika vipi kama you want us to share? Share with us.
Responsibility is madam, there's a time, was it on a Tuesday? Yeah, I had responded to the same question.
Ati?
Responded to the same question on a Tuesday.
Yeah, what is responsibility, Sawa? What is responsibility? Now tell us. What is responsibility?
Moses, I retrieve kwa ile video ya Tuesday. So, okay, responsibility is hey, is it leading? You see, responsibility is when someone, yani, you carry burden of other people, and that burden, you have it with you, and it has to reflect in you, madam. Am I wrong if you are the exam marker? Will you give me something?
I'll give you a half mark.
Hey, you are so mean.
Yeah, because like this Ruth was saying, Ruth has said clearly, responsibility is an obligation to perform your duties, to perform your functions, or to perform what has been assigned to you. When you have been given authority, when you're given authority, you need to ensure that you carry the task that will be assigned to you according to where it's supposed to be done. So you're saying you are responsible.
Yes, I have a question.
Ask me, dear.
Whatever that has been answered, if you compare it with the definition of a leadership, don't you see it coming out as in more of the same? Because I wanted to differ my explanation from that of being a leader, because being a leader is also the same as the responsibility.
No, it's not the same. Being a leader, it's ability to command. That's a leader.
Okay.
Responsibility is an obligation. It's something you're supposed to do. If you're a leader and you have been given a group of people to lead or to show them the way, it is your obligation. It is something that you're supposed to do. It's a mandate.
Okay.
By the fact that you are a leader, you have the responsibility to carry out what has been assigned to you according to the way it's supposed to be done.
Okay, madam.
That's why he's saying for the responsibility, you cannot delegate. You cannot delegate. For example, if you employ a house manager at your place and you have babies and you have kids, despite them being there and working effectively, you cannot delegate your responsibility as a mother to take care of your kids. And if you do, then your kids, they're going to lack some part of them.
Madam, what are these?
What's that?
Madam, I'm asking, me as a mother, I'm not allowed to delegate my duties to the house manager. You see, in the first place, I have to trust her with my kids.
You are allowed. You are allowed.
Oh, sour.
So who cooks for you? Who's going to cook for you? You can take care of your kids when you're at job, when you're working. You're delegating authority, but you are not going to delegate responsibility.
Oh, sour, madam, I've understood now the difference.
Authority, you delegate. When I'm here working and my kid is at home, it's a house manager who takes care of that child. Ensure that the child eats, ensure the child has bathed, ensure the child has done everything. But even if he is doing that, it is still my responsibility to ensure that what the child has eaten how the child is going to dress. It is my responsibility, despite even if it's not me who is taking care of personally.
Very true, ma'am.
Getting the authority to perform, the ability to perform, but I am still responsible. If that house manager will not give my child good food and my child gets food poisoning, it will be my responsibility. It is going to be squarely on me. Yes.
Thanks, madam, for that clarification. At least now I'm somewhere. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So according to the contours are this topic on the delegation. Most of the time, that's why we are learning about either Allen or the contours and the ordinal. They're the ones who have dealt much more on the leadership. They're the ones who have dealt much on the authority and the responsibility and delegations and all that. So according to the contours and the ordinal, it is the obligation of a subordinate to carry out the duties assigned on to him. As long as the subordinate continues to carry out the task that has been given to him, he will be held responsible for the task. So when you're given the authority, when you are responsible or taking care, and you've been given authority or duties to perform, then you're supposed to be responsible. It means we have an obligation to perform or to carry out the task according to where they have been assigned to you as a person or as a subordinate. Features of responsibility, number one, it originates from the superior to the subordinate relationship. In this case, responsibility arises from the superior-subordinate relationship. If there is no superior-subordinate relationship, there will be no responsibility as well. Why are we saying superior-subordinate? It's because you are supposed to be carrying out the task assigned to you. So if there was no task assigned to you, it means there will be no response. That's why I say it is coming out from the superior person who has the authority or person who has the task, and then gives you delegated the authority to you as a subordinate to perform the task. And now you as a subordinate is supposed now to be responsible of what has been assigned to you. So that's why I say it originates from the superior to a subordinate relationship. It is an upward sloping. Upward sloping means the level of responsibility decreases as we move through the organization hierarchy. It always flows upward from the junior to the senior. In other form, is saying the more authority you have, the more responsible you're supposed to be. The less authority, the less responsible you can be held accountable to. So if the more ranks, the higher ranks in the organization you have, that means the more responsible you're supposed to be in the same organization. Then responsibility cannot be delegated. That I'll clearly say you can only delegate authority, but never the responsibility. Whether you have given out the authority or the part of your power to command to someone else, you will still be responsible of their action. That's to say, part of the delegation or the process of delegation is number one, you assign the duties, you give authority, and you maintain responsibility. And lastly, the duration. You are going to be responsible as long as you have been given the task to perform. If you don't have the task to perform, then you cannot be responsible of anything. So that is all about responsibility. You need to know that one of the key things that responsibility has been accountable, the aspect of the obligation of to carry out what has been assigned to you by the organization. And next, to talk about the accountability. When you say you are accountable, it means you can be able to give reports, can be able to give accounts on what you have been doing. For example, someone can ask you from the first day of February up to today, what have you learned about what have you learned in management? So when you're giving account, you say you have learned this, you have learned that, you have learned this, you have learned that, you are giving a report, you're giving an account. That means you're saying you are accountable. So accountability is the obligation for which one can be held to account for one's results and one's action by specifying others. Accountability in the workplace is all about setting and holding people to a common expectation by clearly defining the company's mission and values. Employees' accountability means holding all levels of employee responsible for accomplishing business goals. While accountability at work is critical, important, it also needs to be balanced with the need to give employees autonomy in their roles. They must feel empowered to do their job so that they can take ownership of their work and strive for excellence. Fostering the KISS culture of employees' accountability helps yield a high-performing organization. So we're just saying accountability is just giving account, giving reports. Because someone asks you, now can you say maybe we have been assigned to go to a field and do maybe marketing, and then someone gives you a full scope and asks you, can you give explain what have you done today? So when you're giving account, when you're giving reports, when you're giving, when you're writing a report, saying you're going to be, you are accountable. You are giving, you can be able to explain on what the assignments or duties you have been given. Yes, you are responsible, but also you can be able to give an account, be able to explain, able to give a record on exactly what you have done. Features of accountabilities or things that when you see they are accountable, you can go to check. Number one is you cannot be delegated, just like the responsibility cannot be delegated. Accountability cannot be reduced. Once you have been given a task, supposed to be a give account or a record according to it, supposed to be given. It is always upward, meaning who are you addressing the report? You are addressing the report to the senior person. So they say it is always upward, it's facing upward. It means you are writing report to the person who has assigned you the responsibility. Then you have it, but assigned you the authority. Then it is unitary, means it is personal in nature. It is person. It's supposed to be with one person. So you cannot be someone else cannot be accountable of your action. No, you need to be accountable for your own action. Then it has standard of accountability has standards, and lastly, it extends the extent of accountability determines the responsibility which has been assigned to a person. Benefits of accountability: it builds trust, it improves performance, it helps in better compliance. Why better compliance? Is that if you can be able to give reports, if you can be able to give accounts on what you have done and what has been assigned to you, that means it helps in ensuring that you are performing according to the set standards, so that you can be able to give the good report to the person assigned you the authority. Then there is part called power and authority. We have done the authority, now let's go about to the power. Any question? Iko swali? Waziri, kuna swali? Mercy, any question?
Mom, okay.
This quiz I came across. Sales agents are permitted. Able someone to read me for that question?
Let me read for you, madam.
Yes, please do.
There's this quiz I came across. Sales agents are permitted to close a deal with a buyer or a customer by a maximum of 5% discount, but the manager has the final say. Okay. On whether to offer any further discounts. What management principle is being applied in this situation? Explain. Hey, ongea.
Sijashika swali. Sijashika swali. Rudia.
Okay, Edwin anajaribu Madam, Edwin is trying to ask that kuna sales agents wenye wanafanya deals with a buyer or a customer of a maximum ya 5% discount. Na ujue hapo kwa kampuni manager ndo the final say whether to offer discount or not. So Edu anajaribu kuuliza what management principle is being applied in this situation, as in kuna huyu sales agent yeye ana offer discount, but manager ndo anafaa kuoffer discount. So what kind of a principle is that?
Now, that question is very broad. Tuanzie hapo. It's a very broad question. When you say what management principles are, is my network unstable? But unanisikia? When you ask what's
Network ya madam down.
eti? Network yangu ifanya nini?
Your network.
Ni mbaya. Okay, kidogo, I handle it kidogo.
It's not.
Kidogo tu I handle it. I hope now iko sawa. Confirm Ruth, confirm, are you okay now? Unanisikia vizuri?
Yeah.
Okay. Now read the question again for me. Sorry, Florence. Read the question for me. Edwin is asking.
Edwin is asking.
Yes.
There is this sales agent in an organization who wants to give a discount to a customer or a buyer. Then you see here in management, we have a manager who is supposed to be giving out an authority. He's the final say whether this customer is supposed to be given a discount. So Edu is asking, what kind of a principle is this in an organization? As just a mere sales agent wants to give out a discount and the manager is here. Yeah.
Now, when you ask which kind of management principle is that, we know the management principle, the 14 principles of management. We know that. That's what I'm asking. That question is very broad. It depends on how you answer that question. Maybe there's a part A of that question, or there's a part B of that question. But that's the same. It is the sales reps are closing a deal with a client of a 5% discount, and they are giving thank you, and they are giving a client that's the same 5%, and they can be able to be recognized to be to be binding contracts. Then that is delegation. That is purely delegation, where they have been delegated the authority. It is a work of the manager to be given the discount. But the sales rep have been given the authority. By the manager or by the in charge to be able to give out the discounts to the people, and the discount is going to be counted within the organization. That means that is purely delegation. And a delegation, remember we talked about the principles of delegation, and we have delegation. One of the principles of the delegation about the aspect of the delegation by results expected. They have been given that standard, that result expected to them. And they have been given the authority also to issue out or to give out discounts to the people. So if they perform their duties according to the standard set, according to the principle of delegation by results expected, then they can be able to perform according to the standard of their organization. But if it is the management principles, about the principles of the management, then you can talk about the authority and responsibility. As part of remember, the authority and responsibility is one of the examples, it's one of the principles of management. So the authority and responsibility is going to help them be able to delegate the authority, which has been given delegated authority, and they are working on the delegated authority mandates. But however, if they happen to give a customer discount where he or she is not supposed to be given discount, then they're going to be held responsible. And this is going to be held responsible by their unit manager. Are we okay now? Confirm. Well explained, madam. Thank you. I didn't confirm whether you have understood.
Madam, am I going to buy your time, or and you also to kumaliza the kidogo tu nikuulize swali. While you see, Fahima is on the side of UDA. I am on the side of Mio, very strong one. So you see, I've been called to go and sell out Pale and Citizen TV, me and Fahima. So me as a Florence Sakot, will I call on Raila Amolo Odinga to ask him for what some of the things that I'm going to say there on live, or will I just carry myself, go there and talk everything that is there? What are some of the channels that I should follow? Because I know very well my leader is Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. What are some of the things I should be doing? Because you see pale and Citizen TV pia wanasema ukiongea vibaya you are liable for vitu zako. Yes.
Yes. Waziri, you want to respond to that?
Uda, talk.
Ile kitu nimesikia, sijui ni network yangu ndio shida. Nimesikia tu akisema yeye ni Azimio, mimi ni UDA.
Hiyo nayo ungesikia kabisa.
Don't mind, maybe just repeat briefly.
Anasema wewe ni wa UDA na yeye ni wa Azimio. Sasa mmeitwa for an interview, a political interview pale Citizen. So what are the channels? What are the right channels before you come to the live TV? What are the right channels supposed to follow before appearing there?
Which channels? You just go if you have nothing to hide. Ni watu wa Azimio mnajificha ficha tu. You even want questions.
Nothing like Azimio. Just talk to your boss. Just let me just talk to Azimio as yes.
When unaitwa in what capacity? Ama what did you mean to ask? Because ukiniita interview naenda.
That's why I'm asking. We've been called to go and sell out. We are vying for a seat. I am for Azimio. Yes. So I'm asking, madam, for me not to go and spoil my senior boss, Hon Raila Amolo Odinga. What are some of the channels that I should follow?
Number one, you check your ethics. Number two, you talk to your boss, talk to your party leader. You ask him, what are you supposed to talk? What are you not supposed to talk? Once he gives you the delegated authority, now you can come. That's what you hear them say, in capacity of my leader of my party, I am here to represent and to inform you that this and this and this. It is just the delegated. They are just all watu. Delegated authority. It's called delegated authority. Haina jina lingine. Karibu.
Amesikia ama amepokea?
Amesikia.
Oh.
Nini.
Madam, naona saa 4 imefika.
Yeah.
Awi kutime. Ama ndio hapa sasa.
Tumalizie na power, tumalizie kwa power. Power is just the ability to influence people, but to influence others. And ways to gain power, you can have an extraordinary power, you can do collusion, you can do competition, you can do cooptation, or you can cultivate the right people. Then I want you to go now read more on the organizational politics and reason for why we need to have organizational politics And our Florence started by asking a question, a very important question, where he was asking about the informal group and that friend. That is where now the organizational politics comes in. So look at the effects of organizational politics. You read on that and how you can be able to use organizational politics to betterment of the organizational structure. And lastly, you can be able to look at the difference between the power and authority. And remember, on authority, you can delegate. And what about power? Just the ability to potential. Power, power is in a person. Power is in a person. When I say ability or the potentiality for an individual to influence others and control others, it is in person, vested in a person. But authority is vested in a position. So the most you are in position, you can not be in a position, but you have power. Like say Raila is not anywhere near the government, but when he speaks, we listen. He has power. And then look at the different types of power, the charismatic power, look at the different types of power you can go to have. Now remember, power flows in any direction. It can either come from the bottom to top or top to bottom, but authority comes from top to bottom. Then you can say the source of power most of the times is knowledge and expertise. That is, yes, sometimes you say Raila maybe he's been an engineer. That's why most of the things he's done. When he talks about engineering concepts, we understand and can go to relate. But on the authority, on the other hand, is determined by the office and the position you have been vested in. Power is mostly related to the personal trait of a person, but the ability of the authority is mostly vested in a position. So that is all about that topic of leading. That's topic of the topic 3 of the leading as a function of management. Any question?
Outside the box.
And Aliza?
You see, for example, my good friend Edwin, he doesn't like to talk, but he's good in texting. We also have ladies, they don't like talking much, but they're good in wanaitwa wachochezi. Sasa you've left us with an assignment. Where do we categorize our wachochezi? They don't talk. You see, for me, I'll just tell you point blank, hey, I don't like this and this, and next time don't do this because I'll react. But for them, they tend to listen, they don't talk, but utapata message inakimbia chini ya maji, oh, simpendi, oh, anaringa, madam anapenda kumtaja, oh, nini chini ya maji. But when you stand with them, now can you talk? They don't. They're like, oh, sorry, siku mean vibaya. You know, you're my best friend. Where can we categorize those people?
Oh, it is outside the structure, isn't it? Those are not sincere friends.
Thank you, madam. Tuende to class, sasa tuende tulale.
A sincere person is a person who stands by his or her stand. Kama kitu hauipendi. Sio ati huyu akikuja you shift goals. You need to be a firm person. You need to be a person of integrity. That person also lacks integrity on my behalf. Because when you have integrity, you know what you want, you know what you stand for, and you fight for what you stand for.
Okay.
To my other opinion, that person may lack, he's not decisive, he's undecisive. Hajui ku make decision, ako hapa, ako kule, hata Biblia inasema ipendi mtu vuguvugu.
I wish ningekuweka loudspeaker mtu asikie.
Biblia haipendi mtu vuguvugu. Whether uwe moto ama uwe baridi.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Kama
let's
unapenda.
okay, let's say in now easy kazi za no, madam, that one I'll call you and inquire.
Just ask. Wacha ni end recording alafu